We are, and y'all can hear me over here on Clubhouse. Let me know. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat, section. We are getting started at 8:05. Just to give you guys some time to, get yourselves together. Grab a snack, grab a drink, grab anything that will make you feel. How do I do this? That will make you feel more comfortable. Okay. So I've been gone for the last couple of weeks, I know, but it was for a very good reason. 2 weeks ago, I was, what happened? I think 2 weeks ago, I was in Grenada, and then when I got back, I was just so tired. I could not, because I got back, no, I got back in Monday night at like midnight, so there was no way I could do the show on my travel day back. So that's why I've been missing. But your girl got a lovely tan. Grenada was beautiful. If you get a chance to go, please do. Check out the Royal Tin Grenada. It was great. Okay. But we've got tons of stories for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the She-Hulk that's playing on Disney Plus right now. We're going to be talking about Red Bull's troubles in India. If you are a Dungeons and Dragons fan, I've got some questions for y'all. A parody movie had to be pulled from a film festival due to copyright issues, and a favorite snack also had to be pulled for a trademark issue. And if any of you have the new iPhone, the iPhone 14, I have a funny little tidbit about that. And then if my basketball people, I have a story about Luka Doncic. All right. So stick with me tonight. We're going to have a great time. We're getting started in about 2 minutes. Tell your friends. Invite them all. Hey, Jesse. How you doing? Your story is first on the docket, so you might want to, stay on for a little bit so I can give you your due credit. Okay? Okay, let me make sure. Where's my water? Okay. So, yeah, tell me what's going on with y'all guys. Am I not on YouTube, Jesse? I should be. I should be on YouTube. Give me a second. Destinations. Yeah, I'm definitely streaming on YouTube. Don't scare me like that, man. But I'm definitely streaming on YouTube. So it's YouTube is a little weird. That happens to my mom too when she wants to watch the show. Sometimes she won't see it when it's live streaming. Like YouTube will only put it up after I'm done. I don't know, but yeah. But you still watching me on Instagram? Okay, so we're getting started in less than a minute. Oh, what? You unfriended me on YouTube? Jesse, you unsubscribed to my channel? I'm just kidding. No, I know you didn't. All right. So everybody get comfy. We're going to have a great time tonight. All right. It's 8:05, so let's get started. Okay, welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. Welcome to NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If this is your first time seeing my face or hearing my voice and you're like, who's this lady on the internet and why should I listen to her? I'm Natalie Pierre-Lewis. I'm the host of the show and I'm the owner and operator of NPL Consulting LLC, a business formation firm. What that means is I help people like yourself get your business paperwork together. So things like making sure you have your articles of incorporation, making sure you have EIN numbers and DUNS numbers, making sure you have appropriate contracts for clients and partners so you don't get left holding the bag, brand protection strategies through trademarks, copyrights, and patents, and hiring and training and strategies so you don't get sued for discrimination. I help you do all this and more. If you're wondering why I'm qualified to help you, I'm very happy that you asked. I am a licensed attorney. I have been one for 16 years and counting. I've started multiple businesses for myself and others, both online and offline. I've had many careers in the realms of entrepreneurship, the law, education, hospitality, and administrative support. And most important, I am very passionate about making business and legal education as accessible to everyone as possible. Not everybody has the time, the money, or the desire to go to business school or to law school, but a lot of you have amazing business ideas. And if you're going to be successful in business, there are just some things that you need to know. There's no way around it. So that is why I am here. So if you are in the startup phase of your business and you are looking for some guidance, you're like, there's so many pieces, I don't know where to go first, I want to help you out. So reach out to me. How are you going to do that? You're going to go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm, linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm, linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm. There, you're going to be able to book yourself a free 15-minute consultation if you are a first-time client. You will also be able to download my free Biz Launch cheat sheet that will help you choose and start your dream business in 7 days or less. Linktree/NPL Consulting Firm is also where you can find many of my digital products, like my video trainings and ebooks. And it's also where you can subscribe to my other social media platforms. I have Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Clubhouse, Twitter, all of that. Okay. Yeah, so that is what I do on the business side. All right. I'm trying to think. This month we're going to be starting a new topic. I didn't prepare anything today because I just wanted to kind of, reacquaint myself with y'all so we could just sit and chat for a little bit. But we will talk about that later. Okay, so now that I have shilled my wares, let's get to the point of why we're here. Okay, so this is how the show works, just in case we have some new people. I get stories, I pick stories from the news, stories that you guys send to me in my DMs, stories on blog sites, anywhere that I find inspiration, and I pull the stories that have lessons that we can learn as business owners, and we talk about them. Okay, so this is a time for you to, to ask your questions and give your comments, as long as they're respectful. Like I always tell y'all, my mama watched this show, and I'm not going to explain to her why y'all cussing on the show, because no. Okay. So keep it clean. All right. Yes. What else what else did I want to remind you guys of? I think that is it. Yes, we talked about the show. Okay. Yeah, so don't be afraid to, ask questions, give comments. If you're confused about anything, please, just let me know. I will stop and explain it for you, okay? But I think, we've gone through the intro, so it's time for us to get started. And our first story tonight is courtesy of a very credible source, a comic book nerd extraordinaire, Jesse Mitchell. I don't know if you guys remember the other day in my stories, I asked you guys if you were watching She-Hulk on Disney Plus. So I'm going to ask that question again here. If you are watching She-Hulk on Disney Plus, give me a green heart in the comments, either on Clubhouse, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. If you are watching She-Hulk, give me a green heart in the comments, okay? All right. Now, if you've been watching She-Hulk, you know that the last couple of episodes 4 and 5, have really focused on intellectual property. Episode 4 was, thank you, Jesse. Episode 4 was, they were talking about copywriting magic. I actually have an episode of this show called Can You Copyright Magic? So I think they were looking at my YouTube. I'm just kidding. And then there was another episode after that where the villain in the show by the name of Titania, she started, hawking merch with the name She-Hulk because she trademarked it before Jessica Walters could in the show. But that's as much of the show as I'm going to ruin it for you. If you want any more information, go watch it on Disney Plus. Okay, don't ask me for no login because I'm not sharing it. I'm sharing it with too many people already. All right. But anyway, so when I was posting these, my comic book nerd friend, expert, he called me up and he was like, what's the big deal? Why are you so focused on She-Hulk? And to him, I was like, well, I didn't know if he was into She-Hulk. I said, well, you must not have seen episodes 4 and 5. But boy, did he school me. Okay, so guys, you're getting behind the scenes scoops on She-Hulk, all right? So, now, does anybody know about the Incredible Hulk TV show that aired during the 1970s? Okay, there was a show called The Incredible Hulk, and it starred Lou Ferrigno. If anybody remembers that show, give me an ear emoji because Lou Ferrigno was actually deaf. Yes. So if you remember the series, The Incredible Hulk, you don't have to have watched it, but if you knew about it, give me an ear emoji. Okay. Now, one of the producers of the Incredible Hulk, right? He was also the producer for the $6 Million Man, another old time TV show. So this producer, we'll call him Frank. I forgot to write down his name. I don't know why. Anyway, so Frank, he produced he was one of the producers of Incredible Hulk. But before he went to Incredible Hulk, Frank produced the $6 Million Man, right? And then after the $6 Million Man was a big hit, he left the company that was what? Yeah, I know. I'm getting to it, Jesse. So there was the $6 Million Man. And then this producer, Frank, he left the company and then went and he produced a show called The Bionic Woman, which was essentially a spin-off of the $6 Million Man. And the Bionic Woman was very, very popular. So, who is it? Marvel, they got really scared when Incredible Hulk was coming out. Hey, District, Incredible Hulk was coming out. They were like, we don't want this guy to go and do the same thing that they did to $6 Million Man. So the character of She-Hulk, Jessica Walters, she was created specifically to prevent something like that happening. They never really had any intention to really go big and mainstream with her. I don't think they ever saw, a series coming, but She-Hulk was literally invented to prevent someone else from violating, their intellectual property as best they could. And good job for them because now, they're making all this money off of She-Hulk and everything. And now because, media and stuff, it's very focused on promoting powerful women. This is a good move for Marvel, that they decided to keep this in the rotation. But just so you know, She-Hulk was never meant to be this big. She was just meant to be a placeholder so they couldn't go and produce a spin-off and Marvel not get a cut. Okay? So Jesse, did I do the story justice? Let me know, okay? Because if I didn't do it right, y'all, I'm gonna hear it after the show. I don't want to hear it. So let me know if I did a good job. Did I do a good job, Jesse? All right. So do we have any questions about that story that we just talked about? Incredible She-Hulk. She-Hulk. Anybody? Thank you, Jesse. Okay. All right. Okay, cool. No questions. We're going to move on to another story. But before we do that, y'all, my friend District Elixir is in here. And they make amazing vegan treats. Like, I had their treats and I didn't know that they were vegan. And they're delicious. So check out District Elixir. Okay. Next story we are talking about. So I asked a question in my stories today, and I'm going to ask it here. I had one person who responded, and they got it right. Do you know what the generic name is for a restaurant that specializes in tacos? What is the name of, what is the generic name of a restaurant that specializes in tacos? It's a Spanish word, if you need a hint. Can anybody tell me? Oh, oh, oh. Anybody know what the Spanish word for a restaurant that specializes in tacos is? All right, I'm not going to leave you guys in suspense. It's taqueria. If you have ever heard the word taqueria, give me a taco emoji. If you've ever heard the term taqueria, give me a taco emoji. Okay. Now, while tacos are, definitely Mexican by birth, American culture has really absorbed them and fallen in love with them. You can get tacos of any number of places, and usually even if you go to any usual bar, you'll find some type of taco option on a menu, right? But if you want to go for like real good tacos, you probably want to go to a taqueria because that is what they specialize in, right? But when you hear the word taqueria, does that make you think of a specific restaurant or just a taco joint in general? When you hear the word taqueria, do you think of a specific restaurant or do you just think about taco restaurants in general? Hello, Sincere39. Okay. While you answer that question, I'm gonna put this scenario on you guys. Toby, why are you breathing so hard? Toby? Toby? Papa? Okay. Hey, Miss Squared Beauty Supply. Anyway, so there is a restaurant in London. This restaurant is called Taqueria, and they specialize in tacos. Okay. And somehow, and they also were able to obtain a trademark for taqueria in the UK. So this London restaurant called Taqueria has a trademark for the word taqueria. Now, moving over, there is another restaurant in England, but another city called Hackney, and they are calling themselves Sonora's Taqueria. Sonora's Taqueria. And the London restaurant Taqueria, they are suing Sonora's for trademark infringement. They are saying, look, we are the only taqueria out here in the UK, all right? So you're going to have to change your little name, Sonora. No Sonora's Taqueria here. So again, the restaurant in London that calls itself Taqueria and trademarked the name Taqueria is suing Sonora's Taqueria for trademark infringement because they're saying they own the word taqueria. Now, Sonora's Taqueria, they're like, girl, what are you talking about? Taqueria is a generic word. Ain't nobody going to be able to trademark taqueria out here. Everybody loves tacos. So Sonora is, fighting back and claiming that this London restaurant that their name Taqueria is generic. So now again, this is not a U.S. case. But as a people that love tacos, I feel like, we have a dog in this fight. Do you think that the London restaurant Taqueria, should they be able to keep their trademark for the word taqueria? Or is taqueria too generic a word at this point in society? What do you guys think? Should the word taqueria be able to be trademarked at this point in society, considering how ubiquitous tacos are? I don't know what the taco situation is in England, but I know in America right here we love tacos. So if anybody knows if they're taco lovers in England, let me know. Okay? But let's just say that people in England love tacos as much as we do here. Do you think that it is possible for this London restaurant to keep the name Taqueria? Why y'all so quiet? Y'all scaring me. Are y'all okay? Y'all alright? Let me know. Do I need to do a wellness check on anybody? Okay. Alright. I personally think that this London restaurant, I don't know when they trademarked the word, but I think they got lucky. At this point in the game, I feel like taqueria, it's a generic word. There are so many restaurants I know with taqueria in the name that I don't see how, especially if that London restaurant tried to come to the U.S., I don't see how they would be able to maintain that name, considering how many restaurants we have here that have the word taqueria. Sincere39 said it seems generic. I agree with you. I totally agree with you, but we will have to wait to see what the UK trademark office says, because remember, trademarks are not the same all around the world. Okay, different countries have different rules. They have different standards. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Okay. All right. Before we go on a quick break, we're gonna do one more story. Do we have anybody here? Anybody here drink energy drinks, specifically Red Bull? Whether you used to drink it once in a while, if you have ever drunk an energy drink, specifically Red Bull, give me some wings emoji or like a battery emoji. Because it's supposed to give you energy, right? So give me either some wings or a battery emoji. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. What y'all think? Excuse me. Not Red Bull, just coffee. Okay. I mean, yeah. All right. Okay. Little Rock said, avoid energy drinks. They're bad for your heart. They are. They are bad for your heart. But look, every once in a while, you're running on fumes and you just got to like push through real quick. A Red Bull will do the trick for a couple of hours. All right. Well, really, Toby? Are you done? I'm working here. Okay. And made with Toby. And made with taurine, which is made from bull semen. Ew, gross, Jesse. Anyway, so Red Bull, they're a worldwide brand. They are everywhere. Okay, including India, and he is on guard duty, including in India. And in Red Bull's tagline, I don't know if any of you guys can recall it very quickly, but Red Bull's tagline is vitalizes body and mind, right? So that's their what do you call that? Their motto. Their say. What's it called? A motto? It's not called a motto. What is it called? Anyway, it's a phrase that they have used, that they have trademarked for their product. Vitalizes body and mind, right? Red Bull energy drink. In India, there is another energy drink that goes by the name of Sting. Sting, like, stings you like a something. And their tagline is stimulates mind, energizes body. So Red Bull, they sued Sting for trademark infringement because they said that stimulates mind, energizes body is too similar to vitalizes body and mind. What do you think the Indian High Court said? People eat mountain oysters? What is that? What's mountain oysters? But yeah. So Red Bull said, look, our catchphrase is vitalizes body and mind. Sting is out here saying stimulates mind, energizes body, and we feel like there's going to be confusion, right? So they took this all the way to the Indian court. What do you think the Indian court said? What do you think the Indian court said? Hey, hey. Bull testicle. Ew. That's nasty. Anyway, so Red Bull said, look, our vitalizes body and mind, that's ours. You need to take your stimulates mind and energizes body elsewhere. What do you think the High Court said to Red Bull? Do you think Red Bull won or Red Bull lost? What do you think? What do you think? Um, I'm not gonna. I don't like long silences, so I'm not gonna hold this. But the Red Bull actually lost. So Sting, exactly Sincere 39. The Indian High Court said it's not that similar, and we're not going to make Sting stop using it. So Red Bull is going to have to compete with Sting with their catchphrases, but I just it's not similar enough to really cause confusion. Okay, all right. Before we move on to our next stories, I want to remind you guys that you are watching NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Friday, my Monday broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you are in the startup phase of your business and you are looking for some legal guidance, I'm your girl. I want to help you out. I'm a licensed attorney with a passion for helping entrepreneurs achieve their dreams. So reach out to me. Go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm and book your free 15-minute consultation today. All right? Okay, moving on to our next story. How many of you guys have heard of the Merck company, Merck & Co.? They are a pharmaceutical company here, MERCK. Have you heard of Merck? If you have heard of Merck, give me like a pill emoji or a vaccine emoji, because Merck, they make medication. If you've heard of Merck, give me some type of medication emoji, be it a pill, a vaccine. What else do doctors give you? I don't know, a doctor, something. You know Merck? Okay. So, if you didn't know, Merck has a global competitor in Germany. So in the United States, Merck goes by the name Merck and Company, right? But Merck, this company, they're a worldwide company. And outside of the United States and Canada, Merck uses the name Merck Sharp and Doma. Okay? So that's the name that they use when they're not in the United States and Canada. They have to use Merck Sharp and Doma. Why? Because there is a German company that also goes by the name Merck. It's Merck KGaA. I don't know what the KGaA is. I'm sure it's some type of German. But they are also a pharmaceutical company, right? And they are trying to get into the U.S. market, and they are being and Merck, the American Merck, is trying to sue them for trademark infringement and keep them, because they're saying, hey, you're violating our trademarks in our coexistence agreement. Because in the 70s, both of these companies were coming up, and they're like, look, Toby, stop. They said, hold on, guys. They said, we both want to be out here making money, but and neither of us is willing to change our name, so let's have a coexistence agreement. And in the coexistence agreement, they could use their names in certain formats in certain countries, right? So, since Merck, the German company, was trying to come into the United States, Merck and Co. in the U.S., they've been trying to go after Germany. But Germany is like, hold up, girl. Merck, you have been doing the same thing. Now, again, remember, I said outside of the United States and Canada, Merck and Company, they have to use the name Merck Sharp and Doma. But apparently, Merck, the U.S. Merck, they have not been using that name. They've been using Merck and Company outside of the agreed upon countries that they could use the name. So Germany is also accusing Merck and Company of trademark infringement, right? Now again, they had this coexistence agreement because they had clearly defined borders. You can use this name in this country, you can use that name in that country, right? And both of them are saying that you're violating the coexistence agreement. Do you think that there is room for two Mercs in the pharmaceutical industry, or do they need to go back and revise this coexistence agreement? What do you think should happen here? They're both named Merck. They've both been aware of each other for decades. They have a coexistence agreement, but now each of them is claiming that they violated the coexistence agreement and are basically suing each other for trademark infringement, right? Sincere 39 said definitely not. He said there's no room for two Mercs. Okay. So what do we think might happen here? What do we think might happen here? Y'all, for those of you guys watching on Instagram, if my picture looks particularly good, listen, Auntie done upgraded to the 13 Pro, okay? So I'm in the game now. I'm just kidding. All right. So yeah, it would be very confusing in the pharmaceutical marketplace to have two Mercs, right? You need to have distinctive identifiers. So I'm really interested to see what's going to happen with this. And it's caused problems because, you know, as they didn't have a problem before because the internet wasn't really there, but now because of the internet and digital sales, and you can basically sell anywhere around the world, it's become increasingly hard to differentiate the two. They've had squabbles over, you know, domain names and things like that. So it's a little confusing. Little Rock said Samsung forever. Okay, good for you. Since they're not saying you have no, I got the 13 Pro because I did my research and they said that the 14, if you there's no reason to upgrade to the 14 if you have the 13. So I was like, well, if the 13 is already here and I can get it for less than a 14, I'll get the 13. All right. Okay. All right. So I'll keep you updated on the Merc story. Okay. Moving to our next story. Anybody watching, or listening, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? If you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, give me a dungeon emoji. Yes, it's the 39. Exactly. Now keep in mind, I upgraded from the 7, so this was a big jump, okay? But yeah. Anybody ever played? It was a 7, sir. Thank you very much. But yes. Oh, never played Dungeons and Dragons. Jesse, you ain't never played Dungeons and Dragons? Nobody? Did anybody watch Stranger Things where they were playing Dungeons and Dragons? Nobody? Okay. Nobody's a nerd like me. You have an 8? Okay. Oh, you played in college a lot? Okay. Well, so this might be interesting to you, Jesse. So there is a company called Wizards of the Coast, right? And this company, they bought a company called TSR. This is the same company that developed Dungeons and Dragons. So Wizards of the Coast, they ended up acquiring Dungeons and Dragons as well as another game called Star Frontiers New Genesis, okay? Now, they got Star Frontiers New Genesis, but they never did anything with it, okay? So then some years down the line, another company started. They were calling themselves TSR, and they developed basically a game with the same name, Star Frontiers New Genesis, and they're trying to put out the game, right? Now, there has been backlash about this game because of racist and misogynistic themes, talking about different races and intelligence and things like that. So there's a lot of controversy out there in the gamer world about this game called Star Frontiers New Genesis. So Wizards of the Coast, they kind of jumped into this fight and they are accusing this new TSR company of trademark infringement because they're like, hey, we bought the old TSR and we bought all their games. This new company, however, is saying, look, you may have bought the two games, but you didn't do anything with Star Frontiers New Genesis. So they are basically saying that Wizards of the Coast abandoned the Star Frontiers New Genesis trademark and that it's up for grabs now, right? So these are the two issues at hand. You have a game that is being criticized for being divisive and racist, and you have possibly an abandoned trademark, right? What do you think should happen here? I'm going to give you the two scenarios. Let's say that this new TSR company, hi, spoiled Redbone. Let's say this new TSR company is right. Let's say Wizards of the Coast did abandon the Star Frontiers New Genesis. Hey, abandon the Star Frontiers New Genesis game, and they left it alone. Now, again, remember that this game is being criticized for racist rhetoric, right? Should Wizards of the Coast be able to jump in there because that game could be associated with them and also and cause, bad press for that company because people might not know that it's two different companies now. What do you guys think? Does Wizards of the Coast have a dog in this fight if it is true that they let that trademark lapse? What y'all think? What y'all think? For me, I think that Wizards of the Coast, that they're doing the right thing because it's too easy, especially since this new company basically named themselves after the company Wizards of the Coast bought. It would be too easy for the companies to become confused with each other. So Wizards of the Coast is really in the right, and it's a good move for them to be out there and say, hey, we're not a part of this. As a matter of fact, these people are using this trademark without our permission. Okay, so we'll wait and see what happens with that. Okay. And then we're going to have one more story and then go for a quick break and then finish up. How many of y'all enjoy the Joker as a villain? If you enjoy the Joker as a villain, give me a clown emoji. If you enjoy the Joker as a villain, give me a clown emoji, right? Now, comics have been a part of our culture, popular culture, for quite some time, right? And there is a production company that is arguing that comic books and, these stories from Marvel and DC, that these are our new myths. If you think about the myths from the Greek and the Roman and the African myths of like the gods and powers and things like that, this company is basically saying that our comic books, they are the new myths for our society, right? Now, in that fashion, they tried to make a movie for a Toronto film festival. It was called The People's Joker. And in this version, they said it was a parody. The Joker is a trans woman trying to break into, the crime world. And, just trying to get some respect as, a woman in crime, right? They even describe themselves. They say, we are a legal parody. We are, but jokingly they call themselves an illegal comic book movie. However, DC Comics did not find this funny, and they basically accused this production company of copyright infringement, so much so that the movie has been pulled from the Toronto Film Festival, right? Now, again, they were very open about the fact that this is a parody of the Joker, and that, they're not claiming any affiliation with DC Comics, but DC Comics is like, look, we didn't say you could do this, all right? So who do you think is right here? Okay, now the film isn't going to be shown, but do you think that a film that claims to be a parody about the Joker, where the Joker is a trans woman, is that transformative enough that it could be fair use, against DC Comics? What do you think about that? Hey, Dee. So, what do we think about that? If the idea of a trans Joker enough of a transformative idea, and how that affects Joker's rise into the crime world, is that enough of a transformative idea where DC Comics should not be able to claim copyright infringement? That's what my question. What y'all think? What do you think? Right? Because if I watch this movie, not that I'm going to be able to watch it, but if I watch The People's Joker, am I going to think that this is affiliated with DC Comics, or am I going to think that this is something where, they maybe took a kernel of the story and then ran with it? What y'all think? Y'all so quiet. That makes me scared. Am I not explaining things clearly? Please let me know if you guys are confused, because that is what I don't want. If there is anything that I talk about and you want me to clarify, please do not hesitate to ask questions, or, put something in the box, or raise your hand if you're on Clubhouse, okay? All right. Anyway, so I think that the idea behind this movie, The People's Joker, I really do think it was transformative. I think that DC Comics, with all of their power and money, they were able to get it taken down. But I think that if if the production company that produced this had enough, backing, they might have been able to come up with a good argument as to why the movie should stand. But as of now, The People's Joker can no longer be seen at the Toronto Film Festival. If you're interested in checking it out, I don't know, maybe go online and see if you can stream it somewhere. Okay? All right. Quick break. For those of you who may have just come in, you are listening to or watching NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you are an entrepreneur who needs guidance on the legalities of making your business legitimate, hit up your girl. Go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm. Okay? All right. Next subject, or next story, I should say. How many of y'all ever had Dish Network? If you ever had Dish Network, give me a plate emoji. And you know what I'm talking about. You know the satellite dish, and they would install it outside your house, so you could get cable. And then if the wind blew too hard, you lost the signal. You know what I'm talking about. If you know what Dish Network is, Robert Mensa Tiles. Give me a plate emoji. Give me a plate emoji. Okay. Now, Dish Network, I don't know anybody who's still, Mom had that a minute ago. Hey, District Citizen. I don't know anybody who currently has Dish Network, but I am sure that, it's somebody has it somewhere, because Dish Network, they're still in business, and they have actually filed new trademarks. Dish Network, they are expanding their services into the telecommunications area. They have filed a trademark for something called Maverick for smartphones and telecom devices. Now, how many of y'all would be interested in a phone from Dish Network? How many? How many of y'all would be interested in a phone from Dish Network? Now, keep in mind, this new network, there's only one phone that works on it. I think it's a Microsoft something, and the phone is retailing at $900. So I'm sure that Dish Network has a lot of kinks to work out. But would anybody be, if you're not tied to your carrier, would you be willing to try out Dish Network's phone service? Me, I've been in the game too long with T-Mobile. I've been with them since like 2003. It's about to be 20 years, so I'm probably not leaving anytime soon unless somebody give me a $10 deal. All right. But yeah, so good luck to Dish. It's an expanding industry, the smartphone industry. People are getting into all kinds of services. I went into T-Mobile yesterday. T-Mobile is now, they've got their own internet service. They've got like their own TV. I don't know. T-Mobile is turning into its own empire. Hey, get your money. But these companies have to find ways to differentiate themselves in this ever-increasing market. Okay? All right. Okay. Next story. Doing people in your lives who love Barbie. Either Barbie or Nicki Minaj. If you have people in your life who like Barbie, give me a B. If you have people in your life who like Nicki Minaj, give me an N. Okay? And while you do that, I'm going to tell you why I'm asking this. So, if you don't know, Nicki Minaj, she refers herself to, refers to herself as a Barbie. Wow. Right? And it's never been anything official. She doesn't have a partnership with Mattel, but she calls herself the Barbie. She calls her fan base the Barbs. All that, she dresses in pink and stuff, right? As Nicki is one of the more popular rap stars on the scene right now, of course, people want to capitalize on her name and on her image. So the company that makes rap snacks, those chips that, they have the picture of your favorite rapper. Hey, Lucille Verde. They have the picture of your favorite rapper, and it'll have different flavors. Like Cardi B had a flavor. They got one with Migos. They got one with Romeo Miller. They got a Rick Ross one. They tried to come out with a Nicki Minaj rap snacks, and they were trying to call it barbecue chips, okay? So, of course, Mattel was like, whoa there, daddy, what you doing? Mattel was like, you like the Rick Ross? I've never had any of them. I'm not a big chip person. So Mattel was like, what are y'all doing? Nikki might call herself Barbie, but we don't have a deal with her. She does not have anything to do with Mattel or the name Barbie. So Mattel, they went after Rap Snacks and was like, yo, take it down before we go to court. What do you think Rap Snacks did? The honey barbecue? Who's the honey barbecue for? Yeah, Biggie does have flavors. I saw them online. What do you think Rap Snacks did when Mattel came and said, excuse me, we did not give you permission to use the name Barbie on your chips? What y'all think Rap Snacks did? Lil Baby's. What's his flavor? Smush carrots and peas. I cracked myself up. But yeah, what do you think Rap Snacks did when Mattel said, what's up? What's good? Clubhouse, what's going on? Y'all okay? I'm worried about you. Diesel, they tried, but before they could even get to court, Rap Snacks said, look, we don't want no smoke with Mattel, so they took the chips down. It's a honey barbecue salt vinegar French. What the hell? That's too many flavors in one. Anyway, so Rap Snacks said, look, Mattel, we don't want no smoke, okay? We know that you're a doll company, but we know that you got hands, so Rap Snacks took the chips down. So in return, Mattel has dismissed their lawsuit against Rap Snacks. Now, why did I pick this case? Just because you tell someone they're violating your intellectual property, it doesn't always have to go to court. Sometimes letting people know that they're treading on thin ice is enough to get them to stop, okay? So Rap Snacks is no longer selling barbecue chips. Yes, they got heads. And Mattel's, you know, they don't have to go and find the Rap Snacks people and, you know, swing a bat against some knees. I feel like the people at Mattel are goons because, you know, remember we talked about how they took down the whole Bratz empire for like 15 years? So, you know, don't sleep on Mattel, all right? Okay. This next story, this is very relevant to us Apple users, okay? How many of y'all got the new Apple system update with the dynamic island? If you got the dynamic island update, give me a D in the comments. No, give me an apple in the comments. If you got the dynamic island update, that little thing at the top, give me a D in the comments, okay? Now, it's just a little banner, right, that Apple reworked, right? But Apple, because they're really smart at branding, they gave it a pretty name. I'll show you next time I see you. They gave it a pretty name, and now it's trademarked. So that so when you see that little thing at the top of your new iPhone 14, I got it on a 13 Pro 2. Thank you very much. You know, you'll see the dynamic island. But I bet y'all didn't know that Apple, they didn't want people to know about the name of this feature. So what they did was they filed the initial trademark for dynamic island in Jamaica. Why did they file it in Jamaica? Does anybody have an idea of why Apple went to Jamaica to file their initial trademark application for Dynamic Island, this new feature on, you know, the newer iPhones? Anybody know? Anybody know? Does anybody know why Apple would go all the way to the island of Jamaica when we have a USPTO office right here? I'm going to tell you why. Sometimes companies don't want you to know what they're coming out with. Not cheaper. No. Sometimes they don't want you to know what they're coming out with. So they will file a trademark in another country just to hold it, right? Now, Apple, because they're a big company, it's hard to keep things under wraps. So the reason why they chose to file the first trademark in Jamaica is that because in Jamaica, if you want to see what trademarks have been filed, you have to physically go to the island and go to their patent and trademark office to see what's been filed. There is no test trademark search in the Jamaican trademark system. You have to literally physically fly to the island and go to the office. And how many of us, yes, very smart, how many of us are, unless you're really up Apple's, behind, are going to go fly to the country of Jamaica to go see if Apple has filed any trademarks. All right, but this is also kind of cool for if you want to file something and you want to keep it secret. Let's say you become a multi-global company, can of Cape Cod. You may want to file your trademarks first in Jamaica to hold them, before you're ready to reveal it. So if any of my followers have access to the Jamaican trademark office, listen. Let me know. I'm gonna fly down there. I just want to see what it looked like. Send me some pictures. Okay. And our last story of the evening, my basketball fanatics, give me yes. My basketball fanatics, please give me a basketball emoji. Okay. Now, I forgot to write down what team this gentleman plays for, but has anybody heard of a basketball player going by the name of Luka Doncic or Doncic? Luka Doncic. Cynthia, are you still here? I know you like basketball. Anybody heard of Luka Doncic? Okay. Now, I forgot what team this young man plays for, but Luka Doncic, he's been in the NBA for some time. You gotta be a football girl. I said basketball. Luka's been in the NBA for some time. And as any, savvy sports player in this day and age, he wants to capitalize on his name. Looks like Shaggy. Okay. He wants to capitalize on his name. So Luka Doncic, with his lawyers, he filed a trademark for his name, only to be rejected by the USPTO because someone else had filed it. Do you know who filed it? His mama. So this was actually a big mix-up. So when Luka first got into the NBA, he was 19 years old. He didn't really know anything, so he let his mom handle a lot of the business aspects of his career. But since he's been in the league for a while, he got his coins up and he got a really strong legal team. But he totally forgot about the stuff that his mom had done before. So now his legal team and mom have to work out a way so that they can get that old trademark canceled so he can refresh everything and start his new brand. So it does not matter who you are. Remember, we talked about Shaq's son getting shut down for his trademark because they said it sounded too similar to his father's. Trademarks don't care who you are, who you're related to, whatever. You need a unique trademark, okay? All right, so those were the stories that I wanted to share with you tonight. Oh, we're like right on time. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hadn't been here in a while. I missed y'all, but I'm back. If you have any questions that we did not get to on tonight, please be sure to DM me or hit me up, book a 15-minute session so we can dish for a little bit. I will be back next week with more stories, but if you have anything that you want me to talk about, please send it to my inbox. I love it when you send me stories because that's less work for me. All right. What else? I'll be posting during the week. Stay safe. What else is happening in the world? I don't know. Peace and blessings to all. Good night, y'all. Bye. All right, I gotta end all of these. And share, and